Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. I hope you enjoyed this part 2 of the spring bulb tour. These tulips are in their absolute glory and I just love them. I hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I did videoing it. So it's the first week of March. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, Zone 8. And these tulips right here in the front yard are in their absolute glory. This blend is from Color Blends. It is, and I have approximately 300 gentle giants in this location. And the colors of these tulips are pink, peach, and apricot. I love that they are super vibrant. I love the color combo. I love that they have such an open center and that you can see in the middle of the tulip there. These tulips just scream happiness. I was a little bit worried. Last night we had a really bad thunderstorm and I thought it was just going to take all my tulips out, but they held back. Some of them are a little droopy, as you can see, but they're still so pretty. Let me back up here. So my plan was to see these yellow violas right here, like all in the front. And they performed pretty good here in the front part of the bed, but not so much when you get over here to this area right here. So the tulips are a little bit in the front and my violas are in the back there somewhere. As you can see right here. So I really wanted the yellow violas more in the front here. So this is the skinny side yard right here. And this is another blend from Color Blends. And I have 300 tulips in this area. And the name of these tulips are called Jack and Jill. So this is a blend of pink and orange. This is the first time that I bought this blend. Really excited about the vibrant hot pink with the orange and the yellow violas. Give it a special touch right there. Now these are a little bit smaller than my gentle giants in the front. I personally like the bigger tulip. The great thing about having different varieties is that you can have a different look also. So they all can't be giant, I guess. But this vibrant pink is so pretty up against this orange as well. And look how the sunlight just beams through that orange tulip right there. So some of these aren't open as much as the gentle giants that are in the front yard. But if I wait a whole week from now, they may not be as pretty. Tulips have a very short window. And there's the entrance to this tulip right there. So you can see that this tulip's not as big as the other ones. You can see the pollen in there. There's the orange one up close. With the yellow middle. White in the middle. These are the Autumn Joy sedum that I planted last year. I do have a video when I planted these. These are fresh growth this year. I never thought sedum would bring me such happiness, the new growth, but look how pretty the sedum is. Look up close and you can see the variegated leaves. Lots of gorgeous interest going on here with this sedum. These excite me just as much as my tulips do, but these are going to bring me more joy, more charm into my garden as my tulips are. This is some coneflower. And I have two different types of violas in here. I'm trying to get my shadow out. I have two different types of violas. I have the yellow. This is the Jacob's Ladder. I love the foliage on this just as much as I do the bloom because it gives it a fern-like look. With the periwinkle blooms. These are really tiny blooms. You can see in my finger right there. Real tiny. I have a mixture because this side garden does get a lot of shade during midday. So I'm going to say around 1 or 2 o'clock, this side is completely full of shade. So these hellebores do really well here. So I can kind of do a mix of a shade garden and some sun in this area. The only thing I don't like about hellebores is that they turn downwards and it's really hard to see the flower. Let's see. Those are those blooms right there on the hellebores. There's so many different types of hellebores. I don't really know what variety that I bought, but I have at least 4 of these mixed in with these Jacob's Ladders right here. These are some of the closed tulips still that really haven't gave me a good bloom yet, so I'll have still another couple of weeks here. You can see some of the viola. These are more of a rose color viola, and I just underplanted these tulips with those. This is a different hellebore right here. Lots of blooms on these. And these were planted last fall, so all of these are brand new this year for me. This whole bed is new, along with these Jacob's Ladders. So I have a lot of filling in here with you guys this year. We're going to plant lots of shade-loving stuff, along with some annuals in this side garden. And if you ever wonder what you can plant in a side garden that gets sun and shade, these Sprinter boxwoods do a really good job. They've been in the year, this is going on maybe a year and a half now. And some of these other ones here on the very end of the side garden had been in a little bit longer, and you could see the difference of growth between year 1 and year 2. It's a big difference. They do really good, sun or shade, and I would absolutely say that's probably my favorite shrub. And this is a camellia, white by the gate, and that real bad winter damage just zapped these blooms off. I need to remove them. They just come off really easy. They'll probably fall off on their own. This pot has multiple different bulbs in there. It's got the tulips that are the Jack and Jill that are on the skinny side garden. They have the purple hyacinths as well, and some violas. And in the middle there is 2 alliums that have not got its bulb yet. And then in the center I had some blue hyacinths that were still in there from last year, and I left them in the pot and they did bloom, but just not as much of volume as the new bulbs. So for here, I just feel like we just don't get enough cold winter that they like to be able to give you that gorgeous first year bloom that we always have. And these are the rose violas. I love this color of the blue pot. The only thing about alliums that I don't love is that they look like corn stalks before they start to bloom. I feel like I always have to cut part of the leaves off. So the same vibrant pink tulips. And there's the blue hyacinth. I mean, you can go either way, but compared to the blue hyacinth and the purple hyacinth almost looks rose color compared to this, but that's blue. And this is purple. Sorry if you hear that beeping noise behind me. I'm not really sure what that noise could be. It's so hard to film here on the weekends and have not very much noise in the background. I would just love just to hear the birds in the background all the time. What do you guys think? Do you hear them? And the hydrangeas are starting to bud out. Right there. You can see my nice, clean emerald green arborvitaes. This little goose from Unique Stone. And this is that container that I just showed you. These are the Sprinter boxwoods that are in the rose garden, and I have lots of them, approximately 80 in this location, making this very nice hedge. And I came over here to show you the alliums. And this is what I mean by they look like corn stalks to me. We used to grow corn. I used to be a farm girl, believe it or not. I hated it. Maybe that's why I like to garden now. But it's starting to get a bloom right there. So I'd say maybe in a couple of weeks we'll get to see that really lovely large purple bloom from the alliums. So I have, I think, 2 or 3 in this location, 2 here, and maybe 2 up there. So I bought 25 total alliums this year. Alliums are a little pricey. They're a little bit more expensive than a tulip bulb, but they're very pretty. Excited to share that with you guys when they do bloom. This is another quarter of the rose garden. So I have 4 quadrants, 2 on this side, separated by a very large circle, which where we have our fire pit, and then 2 on the other side. This is the first year that I'll be able to share with you the first flush of roses from David Austin. That's exciting. These are Autumn Joy sedum that are coming up. I'm just not really sure why I'm so excited about these things. They look so fresh and so different the first year that they come up fresh out of the ground. My Daisy May has waken up. The only thing I don't like about this one is that it only gives me 1 flush of flowers, but the first flush is gorgeous. And then I have peony, however you'd like to say it. I always said peony, but I guess I should say peony. And there's some bulbs on there. Last year only had 2 blooms, so we'll see how many more. I already know I'm going to get more than 2. So I see 1, 2, at least 3 already. And this is a different variety. This is what they look like when they're just coming up out of the ground. And this is the cottage garden. I shared this in part 1 of the spring bulbs. And the hyacinths just looked more gorgeous last week than they did this week. They're already starting to go out of bloom. It'd be nice if we could get more time with these flowers than just 1 or 2 weeks, but we'll take what we can get. Still the cottage garden. I have some new fresh things coming up. I have a new foxglove that's going to be right here. One of my jazzberry super petunias is coming back, and I need to prune this grass. I think I said that 100 times. And this is a different sedum. It's a little bit darker sedum. This one was called tiramisu. A little bit larger flowers on this sedum than the other ones that I have. So it's nice to have something different. And this is the Scilly Blend that I had in video part 1, and you could tell that they're starting to go out of bloom. I have a few that were a little bit late. They're still trying to hang on. So you can see the older bloom there already starting to die back. I have a lot of paper whites that were in this blend as well. And those bulbs were very large, like almost like a softball type bulb. And this is my Nepeta waking up. Each year this just gets fuller and fuller. This one's Walker's Low. And I have a border that goes all the way down on this side of the cottage garden. These perennials are waking up. This plant was given to me by a neighbor. So I planted them last year, so this is the first time that I get to see it bloom. This is candy corn spirea. You can see my plant tag right there. Love the yellow and orange colors, so vibrant in this area. And my lilac last year is starting to flesh out with leaves. Excited to see that it's living. And I believe I see little blooms about ready to appear out on it. Let's get a little closer. So this is the lilac, reblooming lilac. It's a proven winner's plant. Let's see, I can see where it's about ready. They're so small to come out in buds. So super excited about that. Excited to see what the smell is going to be like. This one is more of an experiment because I'm zone 8, and like I said, this shrub likes to be more in a zone 7. But I heard that this one does very well here. Hanging basket. All these violas are starting to really warm up from the really warm weather. We've had 70-degree weather this past week. A lot of rain. Also, so these violas are starting to grow and put on some growth. Now I think in 2 weeks it's going to start getting cold again, which kind of scares me as well. And then you can see that these have just gone out of bloom. I really don't know what I'm going to do about these. I don't know if I'm going to pull them up and just plant each year, which daffodils are supposed to naturalize for us. Some people will actually take these blades and braid them and then like fold them over closer to the dirt and let them die out that way. I may do that as well. Look at the roses already putting on so much new growth. So I hope if we don't get any colder weather that it's going to zap that new growth. I hope not. Love my birds. Just flew off. This tree right here is starting to bloom out. this, you can hear them. I believe that's like a mockingbird right there. But this right here is a holly, and it's called an Oakland holly, and it has a ton of blooms, and there's lots of bees all over the place here. I don't know if you can even, I can hear them, they're so loud. Let me see if I can catch. I see a big bumblebee that just went up inside the tree. I can hear them, I just can't catch them. Can you see them buzzing around as I move back? I have 3 of these. One here, one here. Look at those sweet blooms. You don't realize how pretty they are until you get up so close, because they don't look that tiny. That sweet bee. There's lots of pollen for these bees to gather today. And the reason that I brought you this way is to show you this Yoshio cherry tree. It's got lots of buds on it and just about to peak out and bloom. I'd say in another couple days maybe we might get to see this one to pop out. I'd be surprised if it might not be tomorrow. And I have 2 of these Yoshio cherry trees, one there separated by the Oakland hollies, and another one over in that area over there. But this is what the back of the house looks like, looking up. So I wanted to share with you, these are my going banana daylilies. You can tell what happened? Can you guess? So I know this morning I saw 10 deer. That's a herd. Yes, I did say a herd. That was in this back common space this morning. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of scared. I really have lots of beautiful things that I want to share with you, and I really don't want the deer to eat them. But behind it is my clematis, and it's starting to grow. So I need to probably start training that on the trellis. So my clematis, or clematis, however you'd like to say that, goes very well with roses, and this is the only true climbing rose that I have climbing up on this trellis. And I initially looked at tons of pictures when I wanted to do this, because this is one of my main goals that I wanted to do when I started my garden. I wanted the clematis, or clematis, however you like to say that, and this is Happy Jack, growing up on this trellis with the climbing rose. And this rose right here is called Shropshire Lad. I'll throw the name up there for you. I'm sure it is a European name. Super excited to show what these look like, and they do bloom together. Super happy about that. So these are a couple of daffodils that I had growing before. So they really have not naturalized well, but they have came up pretty good. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may keep them. These I definitely have kept. And then coming right here, I'm pretty sure that that is a dahlia that's growing up. So I do have dahlias that are coming back up in the garden as well. So my tall phlox does expand each year. So that used to be one plant, and that's quite wide now. You can see my hand there. So probably at least 2 or 3 hands width of phlox there now. So that's gonna be a pretty display. And I still have not got these rows of Sharons cut back. I need to do that this weekend, but I'm getting some new growth on these rows of Sharons. I'll prune these back by 1/3. So we'll do that this weekend. I need to do that and some butterfly bushes as well. These junipers are looking gorgeous. Another clump of tall phlox. And then this is some of the daffodils that are still left over. This is the boxwoods that are in the rose garden. This one is Alexandria of Kent. Look at all that new growth. There's 4 roses in this area to give it one large effect. And boy, does it fill in that area quite well. I have an allium there. And an allium up here. And there is the bulb. The lavender and the pots are doing well. And my strawberry planter and the strawberries that are in this are starting to bloom out as well. They were all supposed to be red, but oops, I have some pink ones as well, which is okay. This container is from Michael Kors, and Jenny from Creekside does carry these. So if you like this and you're close, this is where you can find the container at. This does hold some strawberries. You can also put some sedum in here as well. video when you have a chance. Get all dolled up and take